for BigApplePetSupply.com, and I'm going to show you the Bass line of slicker brushes, my favorite line of slicker brushes, because it's almost, except for the metal part, this is almost 100% eco green, because it's 100%, the handle, the back of this, everything is renewable resource, all bamboo. Very, very cool. Very nice quality. Rubber grips. I mean, you could just look at it and see this is a finely made tool for grooming. So what do you do with a slicker brush? I mean, slicker brushes are typically used for removing mats. They give a nice massage to the dog's skin, removing dead cells, and they also remove hair that is basically dead hair. So what we want to do is examine how do we use and determine what sizes. Well, for larger dogs, you're going to go with this. But I want to remind you, you can't really use something this big on the feet. So for certain areas like the feet and possibly the legs, you'll probably want to also get a smaller, slicker brush. It'll just make your life easier to have both of these tools, a larger and a smaller, different places. You'll use them differently. But again, smaller, slicker brush, you can never go wrong for doing dogs' feet and their legs, and even certain areas like their tail. You may find the small a lot more useful to get to those places. So let's just do a quick thing. I want to mention briefly that a lot of people will say that you can brush your dog dry or wet, and I'll say you can, but I much prefer that people use some kind of spritzer on their dog and just kind of spray them down, and then you can kind of rub it in to make sure that the fur is moist, because otherwise you're going to be breaking hairs, and you don't need to do that. So with like any kind of brush, you're going to start towards the rear, and as you're doing it, and maybe before even you start to do your dog's hair, you might just want to test this on your palm and kind of feel different levels of pressure, because that's how the dog is going to feel it. So make sure you're not doing it too hard, because our goal is to massage the skin, remove the mats, but not create irritation on the skin. So it's really important that you do this correctly. So if you're brushing the dog, and you always want to go in the direction that the fur is going in. But when you're doing this and you find a mat, two things. If the mat is really bad, attack it from some different angles. But if it's taking a long time to do it in stages. Don't just like keep going after it, because you're going to hurt your animal's skin and you don't want to create an irritation. So if it takes 2 or 3 days to get a mat out, well, it takes 2 or 3 days to get a mat out. But if you regularly brush your dog, you won't have mats that are that extensive. So again, you would brush them. If you run into a mat, hold the hair behind it if you can, so that you're not pulling on the animal's skin and hurting them. So again, you've got the 3 different sizes, like, you know, large dog, medium dog, small dog, but this is kind of a must even if you have a large dog, because again, getting to those tighter areas and the feet and such, you're going to find this really, really useful. So you will find these in our dog section under the grooming tools area. I'm Steven Spitz, the Pet Man, and I thank you for watching.